So we have from Scott High School, Dr. Brennon Sapp and Mr. John Rogers. Shane Rogers. Sorry. Welcome, fellas. Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Go ahead and start us where you
Sure.
want to start.
Thank you guys for having us here today. We're very excited to be here. We've had a great year. We're to start with our point of pride. And I wanted to start with talking about our math growth. As we looked at our ACT scores and through our data from this year, one of the things that has really stuck out is how much our students grow in math with us from the planned ACT, which is what the growth index is figured on for our new scores. We had a 67.7, which was highest in this district. Also, it was 10 states above the state average, 10 points above state average. When we look back at this, by looking at last year's juniors were supposed to, according to the plan, only be at 25% on benchmark. Through the work of our math department, they were able to get 31% of those students benchmark or above, which is a huge increase for math. The year before, the students were only projected for 30% to be on benchmark in math, and our math work with them moved them to 50% at benchmark. Yeah, and that's actually a trend that's went for 3 years that our math department overperforms what our students are supposed to be doing in math. Our reading score, we had some significant growth in reading. It was a 59.6, which is slightly above the state average. But the other thing that made it even more significant for us is when you look around the state and you look at averages, rarely does your math performance outperform your reading performance. And in ours, in the state, the reading growth is a couple points above the math growth. For ours to be significantly above, it says something really important about our math department. Speaking of last year, and some of this started earlier than that, but it takes a couple years for some movements to actually affect it. But what we feel most affected the growth in math was a couple things. Introduction of Springboard had a huge effect on our math department and our math teachers and the way they taught. The introduction of the new core and the lineup with that. Our teachers really embraced it. Our math teachers, our English teachers did as well, but the math was facilitated and set up to really take it and run with it. Additionally, the MDC work that Jenny Barrett does with our teachers, we have 2 teachers actually have trained nationally through the Gates organization and side by side with Jenny. One of them, Laura Kolchik-Cole, she's actually touted as one of the premier professionals in the country on using those strategies, and she's actually leading that department this year. So that's what we feel has done most of that increase for us in those areas, and it really does look at it different. The pinnacle of probably that piece was when the CEO of the Gates organization came and visited us last year. Our reading growth, which we expect to be even larger this year because we've made some major strides this past year in the reading area and the English areas and LDC in general, thanks to Gary McCormick and the hard work of our teachers that are involved in the LDC. Shannon Henson, also Michelle Broker, those teachers were some of the main draws for why the Gates organization actually came and saw us there. Those things have really driven our English department and our math department. I think that at the end of this year, you're going to see the kind of growth in English that we had in math the last couple of years. I really expect that. Our MAP scores are showing that already through the Renaissance Academy, also through the classes, and we've just started in the second cycle, which tracks that. But our kids are getting our scores back, and our teachers are tracking them with the kids. They are showing significant growth. In the Renaissance Academy, their growth is already a couple points. For just one half a year, their growth on reading is 2 to 3 points higher than average, and they've only had them for a half a year. So we're very impressed and happy about that. This past fall, we did start several things that we had initiated last year, but we're still concentrating on. Walkthroughs and evaluations have majorly changed for us. We are spending a lot of time in classrooms, a lot of time working with teachers one-on-one, and a lot of time getting teachers working with each other. We average, each of the principals average 5 to 10 classrooms a day. We actually tracked that last year. We were in almost 3,000 classrooms. And we're not in there picking on teachers or doing things mean or awful. We're in there watching instruction, having conversations with teachers, and coaching them up to the next phase. And I think you're going to see some huge payoff from that. Just this year, they've started to coach each other and share a lot of things. That modeling, that procedure is really moving us forward. We are starting to utilize our MAP scores. We have done some training. We are trying to teach all of our teachers about kids' issues with reading, kids' problems with numeracy, and then actually using that to change instruction, adjust what they do in the classroom. And we've seen the first indications that our teachers are taking that on without being forced, without being required. They're actually asking the questions, getting involved. We've done a lot of work with that, and we'll continue to do that. We still do ACT and Compass and Coyote, but we really feel that for us, past the test, we're trying to get things in the classroom set to best suit our kids and to best attack the kids where they're at. The other thing that we have worked tremendously on, and probably what I am the most proud of at this point, is school culture. We feel our school culture is one of the major influences on us, and that it has been holding us back from making some of the changes that we are making now, and are making a lot faster than expected. According to a January 2011 Gates-sponsored survey, we ranked really, really low in several areas: student relationships with teachers, school culture and attitudes, and rigor in the classroom. We actually were 10th percentile or less in those three categories on a national survey. And we have taken that to heart. We're giving that survey again this year in January, and are looking forward to those results. A few questions that will haunt us to our grave and we talk about continuously is, for example, one of the questions on that survey was, how many of your teachers are not just satisfied if you pass, but really care if you learn? We were the lowest school in the study. How many teachers make connections between what you're learning in school and life? Lowest school in the study. The work I do in my class makes me really think. Lowest school in the study. Okay. And I point those out specifically because culture is really hard to look at and measure and get a handle on, but it is important. It is essential, and you can do a lot of stuff without it. As I said, we are giving that survey again this spring. I'm very excited about it. We can't wait to see the results, and I know some of you guys have been out to visit us. I wish you would come out more, because it has changed. It's a very positive place, and it's a great place to be. We have transformed the way we interact with students. We seek out student perceptions at multiple times. We actually had a policy on it last year. The teachers have embraced it so well that they actually go above and beyond the policy now. The teacher collaboration has just skyrocketed. We actually have 3 or 4 departments that meet more than weekly, and it's not mandatory, it's not required. They do it pretty much on their own. And then we actually take those surveys. We also have implemented this year a positive behavior support system, and actually implemented it and done a lot of hard work with it. Our kids now actually get taught on a regular basis how to act, situations to act in, how to approach people when they're not doing well. Mr. Rogers actually runs that for us and writes those lessons for our teachers, and then teachers share them and use them with the kids. And then our kids get rewards from going above and beyond the expectations that we give them. And some of our kids talk about that a lot. It's been a phenomenal step for us at the school. Since the data has been released, we have continued on with what we put in place. There's a couple other things we have looked at since, but quite frankly, nothing in the data was a surprise for us. We got exactly what we expected. Overall score was 51.3, which is in the 32nd percentile. We are not satisfied with that. Not a single person on my staff is satisfied with that. And we are really working hard, and I know it will pay off. Our overall novice in math and reading from end of course exams was 46% in math and 31% in reading. Unacceptable. And we are not going to stay there and not going to let that happen again. Our gap score was 19.2, which is in the 8th percentile. That will not happen again, and we have taken major measures to work on that. We are currently doing a lot of plan and ACT strategies using that data to work with kids individually on their weaknesses. Additionally, we are piloting some RTI classes. What we're looking at is taking advantage of the trimester schedule and actually scheduling students into additional classes based on their need. And then once getting them in those classes, giving them instruction and individualized time to work on whatever their need is in math and or reading. Later this afternoon, tonight in fact, my curriculum committee has written a proposal to add additional classes, additional English and math classes to our students who need it the worst, the ones that are significantly below benchmark. The committee passed that unanimously, and it has been touted to the rest of the school. The rest of the school is in support of it. I have little doubt that after tonight, we will probably have a policy that says if you are significantly below benchmark, we are going to give you extra time in English and extra time in math so that you can be more successful for the rest of your high school career. At the same time, we are also in plans for putting together an advisee period for next year. We're looking at probably 1 to 2 days a week where we would meet with kids individually, have teachers mentor kids. We're actually piloting that this year. Actually, Mr. Rogers is running that program as well, where we took volunteers. We had, I don't know how many teachers volunteer.
22.
22 teachers volunteer to take on kids out of their schedule to try to get them involved, get them active, be mom and dad to them in a lot of ways. We've just started that, and it seems to be going really well. Those RTI classes, it's not just extra time in the class. The RTI classes are going to be set up to make the kids successful. We're going to do algebra in a way that gets the kid ready to take the algebra class. As you see the growth in our math department, once they get a kid that's ready to go, they do phenomenal things with them. We've got to get them ready. Same thing with our English teachers. We're really looking at in English class, especially with reading, giving those kids extra time working on the things that MAP identifies and the thing PLANS identifies that says this is what they need growth in, this is what they need help in. And we are piloting those this year with a couple classes. In conclusion, it is our goal at Scott to become a proficient school. I expect that to happen this year. I suspect it has already happened, but we do not have data to support it yet. I'm overwhelmed by my staff, the way they have taken on this challenge. Quite frankly, I have said to many people, and I am honest when I say it, we are having discussions and making decisions and doing things for kids that I did not expect us to do for 4 to 5 years from now. This place is phenomenal, and we will make you proud.
Thank you, Brennan.
Welcome.
Can you give us just a little snapshot of the Renaissance Academy?
Absolutely.
All freshmen? Or?
It's freshman and sophomore.
Okay.
They have a number of different things going on. They have their English and social studies class combined. So they take those together in a 2-hour block, and there are 2 teachers that teach them. Hour and 40-minute block because it's 2 periods. Those 2 teachers teach them together. A phenomenal pair. It's really funny because one of them is super structured and very organized. The other one is artsy and very flamboyant.
Right brain, left brain.
Yes, and they have taken on each other's personas, and they actually cannot be separated now. They're so fluid together. It's a perfect model of co-teaching. We walk in there and hear part of the lesson every day, and when you hear it, it's like they do things that we are trying to get every teacher to do. We actually have a lot of teachers that just go visit the Renaissance Academy just to see the strategies they're using. It was a little bit of an adjustment for some of the kids in there because they have embraced the right brain type of learning, the project learning. You will walk in and, the first week of school, they had 4 major projects they started. And the kids would say, when do these due? When you get them to proficiency. And that was really a hard thing for them to figure out. But they've taken full command of it. Miss Owens actually came out and visited one of their major projects with the making of a museum. They had a curator come out and help them actually form a museum, make the museum, and probably a third of our school went through that during the day. Actually got chills through part of the museum from their presentation and their writing of it. I mean, it's been phenomenal. They have several other classes like that where their math and their science classes also formatted that way. And as I said, our early data from that shows us that kids are growing in there faster than average. The additional thing for us is it's full. It has, let's see, that would be, I want to say about 58 freshmen in there and about 54, 57 sophomores. and not a single kid has even had a conversation with us about not wanting to be in it. So that tells us they're happy and they're doing well.
And their necks.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about school culture there and you know, focusing on etiquette and behavior. Is your discipline referrals down?
It's interesting. They started down about week 10 or 11. They skyrocketed. It was almost like the school started to have a little bit of a temper tantrum on us. And, you know, it's like they were doing what we asked and really doing well. And then they decided, like, you know, it's been too long. I can't take it anymore. And then we were just talking about this the last 2 days. The last 2 weeks at Scott have been as calm as we have ever known it to be. The kids are engaged. They're not even acting as if they shouldn't be. I mean, the last 2 weeks have been the best 2 weeks at Scott since I've been there. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
Hope the next 2 weeks go good too.
We hope so. I mean, as you know, Christmas sometimes gets, you know, harder, but luckily for us this year, it hasn't been. It's been very positive.
And I appreciate your honesty there with the survey. I too look forward to the January survey
Indeed.
very much. You make sure you report back to us.
I will.
Anything else?
And that survey is funded through our Gates Fund.
Yes.
So it's a very expensive survey, but we feel like we get the best data from it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.